Hey guys, this is kind of a continuation from Tuesday when we did the bowl. I decided I was going to go ahead and play with it, see it, get it sanded, see how it looks, and it looked pretty good. So I'm going to do a little finishing on it, and we're going to show you how that works. Hopefully you will enjoy it. Let me switch to my overhead camera here, and you can see the bowl. It does look pretty good there. I was able to incorporate the cut. Not bad. It's pretty smooth. I did sand it up to 220. So that's what it looks like there. And then on the inside, that's what the inside of the bowl looks like. It come out really nice. So what I've done thus far is I used some shellac and that tightened up this punky area. Um, this area here that got a little punky. Let me turn this light off. There you go. It's not so much of a glare. But this area that was a little punky and rough, I soaked it down with some shellac. It got into the wood and it really tightened up the grain a good bit. I did have a crack over here that was kind of giving me a little bit of issue, but I super glued that together right here. You can't even really see it, and then shellacked it real good. And then after the shellac dried, I went over it with a couple of coats of lacquer just to give it um, a little bit more protection. Now, the step that I talked about, the finishing step, is that I use, we can get in there, this Axe abrasive paste. And basically, it's different. There's a couple of different waxes. Usually, there's a mineral oil in it and different types of grit. Usually, a lot of people use rockstone and dias, dias, diatomaceous earth, something like that. That's how I forget how you say it, but anyway, diatomaceous earth. There we go. And what we do is just get a little. Let's see what camera we're on. What we do is get a little paper towel and just kind of scoop some out and just rub it around it. Get a good coat on there. Let's see what we can see on the here. So again, we'll get a little bit of just a little bit of paste. We rub the inside. And this is going to really finish up this piece very nicely. And then I turn the lathe on at the lowest setting, which for me mine is about 300 RPM, and we just hold the paper towel on there and let it just work it in. The same thing with the inside, and we start off low so that the stuff just does go all over the place. Now there are still some little rough pieces in here that's just with the wood. Since it was a little bit on the soft side, I just decided to not take it down too hard. It really wasn't doing a whole lot of good. Usually, once you get that in, I'll usually take just a little bit more, dip my Rag in there just a little bit more, give it another little swap. And you want to put a little bit of firm pressure on it to build up some heat so that the waxes and all that are in there kind of melt and get those that grit to break down. Now I'll bring it up to about 700 and still with the dirty the paper towel with it. We'll rub it in there, putting a pretty good bit of pressure on it. We're getting that to sand that up pretty good, so we get a good little bit on there. Towel's coming apart. Then once that's done, we'll take another towel that's clean, and then we'll start wiping it off. And as you'll see, here's I'm buffing this, how it's see if I can get it on the other camera here. Should be able to see. You might be able to see. There it is. It's coming off, and what we want to do is use a clean towel and rub this until you don't get any more of this on there. And as you can tell, even with just that little bit, it's getting a lot. It's getting shinier, so it's starting to have a really good effect on it. Find the other clean side to my cloth, fold it over, and I use paper towels. And you can use rags, but you have to be very careful. Um, if you do use a rag, you want to use a very small piece like this. Uh, because generally, if this gets taken out of your hand, paper towel's going to tear. A rag won't, and you could actually take your hand and get it caught up in this since it's moving. It is moving around. So as you can see, it is polishing up rather nicely, especially on the top. You can see on the other camera, you can see it's really polishing up nice. And we just do that to polish it up. And you really do want to make sure that we get all of that out of there. I'll go to another clean spot. Paper towel. And there's nothing left on there on the inside. Nothing left on the outside. All right. And as you can tell, it's got a little more shine on it. And if you could feel it, the texture it really did smooth it out a good bit. Now the finishing part of it is I use this Axe Polish and Restoring Paste. And it's sort of like it's different waxes and different, um, I think there's some mineral oil in this too. Um, just takes a little bit on the rag and we will polish it on. Rub that in. And then we'll do the same thing to the inside. Rub that in like, and I'll change the camera angle here so you can see a little bit better what we're doing. Okay, so now, again, we take the rag that we applied it with, and we turn this on slow, and we'll just, again, work it in there. Let it build up a little bit of heat, pressing pretty firmly. Get it good and spread out. Again, start off slow so that if there's anything that was built up, it doesn't come flying off. Then we just get another paper towel and we crank the speed up. I'm up to about 1200 RPM, and now we're just going to hold it and let that polish. What happens is the heat will actually get that into there. The heat that you build up is what really does the work. Of course, there is that little spot, and it does tear up your paper towels. This will be very, very nice when it's done. It's kind of like a friction polish. And then sometimes what I like to do, I'll get out a little buffing pad and just go over it one more time. And then we'll turn it off. And then, as you can see, you can't really see in this camera, but let's put you up to the overhead camera. You can really see how that the combination of the paste, the abrasive paste, and the polishing paste really brings out the color. Now, still not finished. We have to do the back. We have to take that tenon off. So how do we do that? Well, there's several different ways that it can be done. Um, we can take this off, and I can actually open up these jaws wide. And do kind of like a friction fit. Put something in there and hold the bowl on there with the tailstock up here to turn it off. But usually what I do is I'll take this chuck off and put on what is called Cole jaws, COLEJAWS. And as soon as I get this on, I'll show you a picture of it on the other side. Let's see. Let me take this down a little bit so you can see the whole thing, or pretty much the whole thing anyway. Okay, so that's what my cold jaws looks like. I have these little bumper stops, and you put them in so that you can hold the bowl. So what we'll do is that this will have to come open, and then I need to move those in probably about two down. These just unscrew, and we go right here. Make sure that all of these are at the same spot. These are very handy to have for doing round bowls. Some odd shaped bowls you can, just depending on how the shape of it and where you can get these at to hold it. Then what I usually do, I have a piece of anti-stick mat come from a carpet. It just kind of protects the sides and the edge. And we open these drawers up till we can get the bowl in there. Oh, looks like I put it just a little bit too small. So I need to go up one. I'm gonna get a good fit on it. This one has handles on it, so then we'll get these handles on there and get this chuck tightened up here on the bowl. Make sure that the bowl is in there good and tight. Move some things will bring up my tool rest. Back up. Make sure I'm about halfway. And then we'll take that off. This will be done fairly slow. But I do want to do it at least about 600 RPM. And then I'll just start taking that away. bowl's firewood. Sometimes that happens. So I guess you won't be winning that bowl on Thursday. So I will be figuring out another bowl for you guys. Um, hope you enjoyed it. This will be the first. That's good. The first video I put up is going to have one where my bowl broke. So yeah, yeah. When it was punky, just didn't hold up. It actually split when I was cutting it. That's why it came off. Well, I'll see you guys in the morning, and we'll talk to y'all later.